Oh, I really didn't like this all that much. You know what? It'll be okay. This part's just gonna be cut out anyway. No, actually, I'm serious because the company Livall, they sent out this conversion kit. They were actually a really nice company to work with in that realm. We had an email exchange back and forth. They wanted my opinion on this product. One of their stipulations, which they didn't have many, was that they wanted to use this footage to re-edit for their own marketing purposes. And I was like, yeah, sure, go ahead. Other companies do that anyway. It was nice of them to ask permission to do so. But that means that the parts that they don't like, they're gonna cut out anyway. So you're gonna hear my honest opinion on the Livall Pikaboost 2 Lite Edition right here on Blue Monkey Bicycles. Let's do it. So yeah, this is a friction drive conversion kit, and that's kind of off to a bad foot. Generally, friction drive conversion kits have some problems, and the Pikaboost 2 does solve at least one of those pretty darn well. But in this case, they're going for something that is super easy to put on, that is really cheap, that can convert most any bike into electric. As far as performance is concerned, this thing is actually kind of cool. What you would do is you would just turn the thing on and then start pedaling. There's no controller up front. You don't need to use a phone app to get it to go. All you got to do is just start pedaling, and this thing will automatically start to kick in. Now with that, it means that it won't turn off unless you turn off the entire unit. Now with the assistance, it's actually more like a throttle in terms of how I experienced it. It would just keep powering. Every time I would hit the brakes, if I came to a complete stop, then this unit would turn off also. But if I came to almost a stop, then this thing would continue to assist because it still noticed I was going, 4 miles an hour or whatever. It would still notice that I was going, and then it would kick in some assist, and that assist would make the wheel turn faster. And then that would go up to the next automatic level that it has internally with its software. And then that would go up to the next level, and then that would go up to the next level. And you really don't have to pedal at all in that case. You just have to pedal once, and theoretically, you could do an entire ride only pedaling at the very beginning when you leave your house. I actually do like the way that the assistance does kick in. I wouldn't call it like super intuitive, but after you learn a couple of rules, it actually does become really easy to use. Once you get the hang of it, you can ride this thing pretty intuitively and have absolutely no lights or bars or displays or anything like that up on the handlebars. And being able to ride that way is something I really enjoy. Being able to remove all distractions, have a really clean cockpit, and be able to actually enjoy your ride and just kind of enjoy where you're going and kind of get lost in the thought. To its credit, it does produce a fair amount of power given the size. With some of these things, I'm expecting it to produce as much power as I can barely notice, but in this case, it was actually quite a lot. Now they say that this thing has a 500 watt peak power output, and I'm led to believe them. Now, in terms of 500 watt output compared to something that you would have in the hub, or especially something that you'd have as a mid-drive, you're not gonna be comparing it apples to apples in that sense. Because, like I said, you have a lot of inefficiency that's going through the contact between the tread of the tire and the tread against the motor on the Pikaboost 2. After this thing dies, it is still putting pressure onto the tire and slowing you down. So what you would do in that case is just use the handy tool that comes in the kit, and you would just loosen it off of your tire, and that way it removes the pressure. You're just carrying around a battery on the back, and you can continue pedaling. So you're never stranded if this thing dies. You're just carrying the weight of it, which is not like a huge deal. So obviously this thing is made for more of the European market in more of a dense urban area, because in the suburbs of the United States, I really don't see this being a match at all, and especially not rural. Friction drives have a way of wearing down a tire faster than normal, so I'm not going to keep this thing on my bike for too much longer, and that itself is a major pain point for inefficiency. So these things generally go through battery, quicker than what you would hope. This is a 158 watt hour battery. So that's 21.9 volts and 7.21 amp hours for a battery pack. Now the battery pack's kind of small, so that's, good for being lightweight and everything, and also fast recharge time. Now the charging is actually pretty interesting because the Pikaboost 2 came with just a USB-C to USB cord as the charger. So this end can either go into the entire unit or it can go into the battery if you take the battery out. But this is your charging cable, is just this thing. So I tried to plug this thing into like a regular rectifier that I would use to charge, like my little cameras or phone or perhaps my little microphone here. But I couldn't do that. I had to plug it into a specific USB-C output that could put out enough watts. This is the one that I used. I used that top one, which is rated for 100 watts. I had to dig around to find that. I couldn't plug it into just anything. And that was strange because almost every other bike that I've ever tested over the many years comes with a charger. So having to find a charger for this was rather strange. Once I got it figured out, it was not really a big deal. This thing can charge and it can charge quickly. Although for some reason, my particular unit would never show a complete charge. I would charge it up for 3 hours and then it would still sit there flashing at the very last light and never continue. Now, I'm not sure if that's an issue from my end because I didn't get quite the right charger, or if that's an issue of the batteries or something like that. It's hard to say because this doesn't come with a stock charger to try and eliminate those issues. I guess kind of go with it. It's hard for me to think about how I would improve this product because within the framework of making an inexpensive and easy friction drive conversion kit, this is really good. So the customer that would be a good match for this product is pretty narrow. It would be someone who very likely lives in a dense urban environment, who has a pretty short commute, something like 5 miles or so, and they already have a bicycle, and they have a fairly short lifetime of when they would need this product. So for example, so if they have like a seasonal job, or if they just need to save up some more money so that they can get a car or the right car or whatever, this could be a very good option. Because I really wouldn't want to commit to use something like this for like 3 or 4 years. And then on top of that, you also got to factor in that they're going to burn through their back tire pretty quickly too. So yeah, I feel like it's a fairly narrow customer base for this thing. So yeah, you can kind of tell that I'm a little torn in this review because the product is good for a small friction drive, but a small friction drive is not a system that I would recommend for almost anybody out of the blue. So kind of pigeonholing someone into the bare minimum of what they would need to survive to get back and forth to a job, that's not what I really like about electric bikes in general. And therefore it's really hard for me to recommend a product like this. I really do want to thank Livall not only for sending this out to me, but also for making, an otherwise thankless product. Let me go ahead and give them something that they're going to use on their social media because, I don't want them to feel like, they sent this out to me. I'm going to slap them in the face by telling them I hate it. But here, one sec. All right. The Livall Pikaboost. Okay, here we go. Put on my announcer voice. The Livall Pikaboost 2 is easily the easiest friction drive conversion kit I've ever installed. And the way that this thing drives is unlike any other system I've ever used. I was honestly grinning ear to ear because I was not expecting the Pikaboost to keep putting out that much power. And the Pikaboost 2 will fit onto almost any bike out there. And this will fit on almost any bike out there. So you guys let me know what you think about the Livall Pikaboost 2 in the comment section. Let me know if you have other friction drive experience or experience with this thing. At this stage, I'm going to be reading and responding to almost every comment. Next up on the channel is going to be a review for a scooter / bike sort of thing. It's called the Ano Hot Volt. I don't know where they come up with these names. I'm Mikey for Blue Monkey Bicycles. I will see you on later.